9. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up.
And hello everyone, welcome back here at Daytona Beach, Florida, here in Daytona International Speedway. We're now live here today for the showcase of the Moonshiners Rallycross League and their first race of the season. It's the season opener here on PTM Racing TV. I, everyone, as consider Christian Char, joining you guys here today as we get ready for our qualifying session here. Up on the charts here, our drivers now prepare for the long, strenuous road ahead of them, and their times will certainly show it. Our first batch of drivers going out on the track. Robert Case in number 14, gonna send it on its way, try to set the fastest time, get the car settled up. Reigning defending champion James Watson in the 39, looking to come and defend the crown and defend the title against all who dare oppose him and all that come for the spot. John Schnebel here in the 15, newcomer to the show. Great to have him on board. Good to see him as well. A former race winner here and multi-time race winner here on PT Race TV, Christopher Hill, bringing it back in the 101 for a full season start. David Ian returning as well in the number 5 here. He'll get himself squared up on the track as well. Lucas Santos returning in the number 6 here. Good to see him back out. Juan Jen Wang here in the 00, last season's multi-crown race winner, also looking for a season championship. Could not quite get it going there. Looks to try to defend that off and try to get this one this season. As right now fastest times are being set up, and Benjamin Forster in Benjamin Forster in the number 23 has set the fastest time so far. Let's see if he's able to keep that going here as we look on to the rest of our field. The 48 George Young also taking to the track. Good to see him bringing that Miller Highlight back out. I'm going to apologize up front if I completely butchered this name, but Marwan Moftah in the number 3 here is out on the track as well here, getting himself some laps around the track. Some newcomers from Argentina to the Americans to Canada to even a little bit farther out there in the Spaniards' age. We also got some UK Ireland drivers here. Callie Bajent is now in the 114. Good to see them come onto the show for the first time here. Matt A. Kingsbury as well, the number 21, coming onto the show for the first time as well. Could be interesting to see how he plays out his qualifying lap right now as the rest of our field continues to lay down their speeds and their times. Still, no one able to get a 45.67 time from Francois, Martel. Well, my. Francois laying down a 45.67 over Benjamin Forster's 46.04. That might be the driver to watch out for in this one. Matthew Johnson here in the big number 44 comes back to the track. He's trying to set down the fastest time. Caleb Forsythe in the 76 is also now punching his lap in. Same for Andrew Hale. Andrew Hale, the Hail Mary King himself. The guy, in my opinion, that really got to keep close tabs on in certain tracks and certain eggs, and we'll see if maybe that is going to be the case here. He's got a lot at stake and a lot on his mind, though, and a lot of drivers looking to take him down off the top spot. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with that Red Bull machine. Yeah, Forsythe getting his last lap practice in here, getting some qualifying done, but that's going to give himself a DQ there. That will not count in the record books, unfortunately, so time will not stand there, unfortunately, here, as you see the time left out on the clock here before we get into heat number 1. And the heats will, of course, get our drivers set in motion and set in on the track for each division. Heat 1, Heat 2 will be set for a 24-car field, so they will have 12 cars in each heat, and then they will have a last chance qualifier that will bring in about 3 drivers into the A main, and then it's a 12-lap A main to go. Well, qualifying has concluded. John Thacker / Brad Thacker, aka the attacker of Cone Lives Matter, and the 50 is not qualifying, so it appears that everyone has hit their marks. Let's take a look at the times here right now. Best lap time set by Francois Martel there. He lays down a 45.67. Now, Benjamin Forster, though. Forster, man, talk about coming right back at him with one. 45.86. Very fast, very confident. Almost right at his mark there. So he'll start in heat number 2 on the pole. Francois will get the heat 1 start, and he'll start on the pole there. Then Matt A. Kingsbury and them starting in the 46s. Very close, though, with Robert Case, Christopher Hill as well. Individual times 46.21, 46.22, and 46.25 between those drivers, staying in the 20s relatively. That will be interesting to see how it branches out in the heats to the A main. We'll see what Wan Jin Wang will also, or Drin Jin Wang. I keep messing up his name. It's Drin Jin Wang there, folks. So I just say I did not mean to say Wan Jin Wang. It's Drin Jin Wang, guys. He'll be piloting in currently in the 46.40, so not saying the world on fire with that time, but nevertheless, you don't really have to. You just need to make sure you stay out of trouble and focus on the rest. Everything else comes to it eventually. Here's your starting lineup for heat number 1. Francois Martel is going to be the number 12, and his outside will be Matt A. Kingsbury in the 21. And then the next side of the rows is Christopher Hill in the 1. In that 101, and then James Watson probably in the 39. Lucas Santos in the 6. Then you'll see in the next bracket there, that is Daniel R. Hall in the number 19. Rounding out with the 44 Matthew Johnson. Then you got the 22 Steve Clegg with the 5 of David Deanne. Then you see the 3 as Marwan Moftah. Moftah, I believe is how you say his last name. And then Caleb Forsythe in the 76. And then the 48 is George Young to round out your field of a 6 lineup field. Bit of an interesting little start here. Of course, you'll see drivers kind of put in one groove or one spot. Remember, these are takeoff lines, so they're going to have to pretty much dive in quick and get going quicker. They'll set them 3 stacked back, 2 up front, 3, then 2, then 3, and then 2 in the very, very back. That's how you line up with this kind of a race. High above the cams, high above the crowd, we are now waiting for the arrival of the Moonshiners Rallycross League. The boys are set and ready to go racing. We'll bring them off the start and down towards Thunder Alley here into that front straightaway here. Looks like we'll go 3x3 and then have 2 in the side, 2 in the middle. Awaiting the green flag start. Lights pop on, and we're off. Well, not the best start there, unfortunately, for Christopher Hill. The 101, literally forgetting he had to get off the line on a standing start. More used to having to go on those actual racing starts where you actually get moving. You actually move on a moving start. Clean start to the first jump. Oh, the same can't be said for the 12. Francois Martel literally figures out you can't drive these things like normal cars. And he gets sent back into the shadow realm here. Uh-oh, trouble down there with Steve Clegg in the 22 and the 48 of George Young. And now everybody just in a frenzy trying to hold the speed, trying to hold the line. Francois Martel cannot believe that he made a mistake at his level and his expertise. But again, these cars are literally an equalizer. It doesn't matter how much experience you got. It doesn't matter how well you can drive a car around here. These things will literally test you to your limits. Oh, and it's just like that! Matt A. Kingsbury in the 21 losing it off the corner into the front straight away to the finish line. Kingsbury can't get it refired. Got to get straightened out. The car just too sideways and wobbly. Here comes the 39, James Watson taking it over. Watson using the expertise, using his knowledge he knows of these Legend 34 dirt cars. Using it quite well and handily against these boys. Lucas Santos in the 6th though. Looking to get right back at him here. Remember they've done 2 full seasons now of this. The first one was last season we covered. This is season 2 they'll be doing. And all broadcasts will be covered live and on here in PTRace TV. We'll make sure every coverage is presented to you live and shown here on the show. So do not worry there as Lucas Santos in number 6 moves his way around the track there. Christopher Hill. You talk about a guy that literally just kind of worked his way back to the field. The 101 making a huge comeback here. He's been known to do this too. He's been known to literally just kind of drive out the track and drive onto the field and really take some of these boys into the lineup here. And the A's guys are starting to learn that the hard way. Santos, slight tighter corner there than Hill. Gives him the advantage. Watson trying to get right behind of Hill, trying to steal his spotlight. Santos, remember, has used the Joker lap already. Hill has also used the Joker, but Watson has not, so keep that in mind. He may be setting it up. Oh, yes, he is. He set him up. Has to keep it tight off the exit. He confirms it. The Joker counts. 2 to go. If you go past that little white line there when you drive it off the corner, then you have already just taken the Joker. You have broken the rules and regulations of it. That's why it's so critical you take a tight corner here. And really also you can just see too, you best watch your jumps here. These jumps will literally send you skyrocketing if you're not careful. Marwan Moptali just found that out the hard way. That thing bounced around like a trampoline. Continuing off the edge here, folks. Also, if you may have experienced a little glitch on our end here, do not worry. It's not. We are still live right now. Do not fear there. Just a little freeze frame, unfortunately, on some of the streams here. We're being told from our producers. White flag out though here. Currently, Watson is your leader. And remember, Watson qualified 4th and literally just kind of took that with stride, took that with confidence. Francois Martel underestimating what these legend cars will do for you. And what also can happen to you, Lucas Santos gets clipped in the back of the pack. And unfortunately for him and Hill will kind of straight paint, taking positions over, but it'll be Christopher Hill that takes in second. As long as he doesn't mess this final corner up, but James Watson is going to have company. Coming to the inside lane. One more sight for the finish here. And Watson barely holds on, but Hall will go 0.17 of a second short. What a race. Daniel R. Hall, literally, I completely spaced out. Didn't even realize he did not take the Joker until he was just going into that lap. And I realized that was the move he was waiting for. Almost secures a heat. And that is how you got to start going here on Pete's Race TV. As Caleb Forsythe looks like he's trying to go somewhere else at this point. Maybe he's trying to park it somewhere else. Wow. Great start here to the racing series. And really, you wouldn't expect these things to put up races like this. But they've actually got some of the craziest races you'll see in close call finishes that we've seen in quite some time in any series for that matter. I think that's one of the unique things about this, and that's strategy. Watson, Hall, Hill, Johnson, and Santos though are your top 5. The rest are gonna have their hands full coming into that A main. Here's your field and lineup here for this one. It's gonna be Benjamin Forster, Robert Case, Dren Jin Wang, Andrew Hale, McKenna Deanne, Ty McIntosh, Taylor Parsons, Callie Bagan, Austin Hable, John Sneville, and Brad Thacker and Marcus Palacio in this one. Green flag is out. Heat number 2 is underway. And Taylor Parsons just says, to heck with that, worried about the Joker. I'll just do it now. He literally passes the entire field, uses the Joker well. Austin Hable sent back into the shadow realm there. Got a little clip up. Looks like he's going to need to make some ground up if he doesn't want to end up in the last chance qualifier. And Dren Jin Wang in the 00 smashing the wall protection in the inside. No worries there. They have got these cars on instant repair mode. They don't have to worry about taking damage. Why? Well, let me think. If you're going off that jump, you really think these cars can handle that jump to begin with? They got to get them fixed somehow. Dan Miglett saying go Wang tonight. Rolling on for Dren Jin here, and looks like he's already doing a pretty good job. Solid start though, as Taylor Parsons, despite using a pretty good strategy here, is being hunted down by Benjamin Forster. And you got to wonder yourself, did Forster literally pay a close attention to what happened to Francois? And now going into this one, actually is now starting to plan and strategize everything accordingly. I got a feeling he had to have, and he knows that with his racing background and his style, he's obviously one of the higher end I rating and safety rating drivers of the Rallycross, so he has experience on these dirt roads. And he's showing it too. Remember, Parsons, he used the Joker lap earlier. Benjamin hasn't even touched it yet. And he may be setting up Parsons here, and he is. Here it comes. In the inside, here comes the Joker by the 23, and Forster swings it. Did he get it through the white line without receiving the penalty? It looked like all four wheels were in stable position in the right place, so I gotta give him this one. I think he's okay. The officials and the judges will review it, though. They will look at everything, and they'll get his board back later on. Robert Queso in the 14, though, my word. That thing is slinging dirt and swapping side by side, just trying to hold on, and somehow it's hanging. Back right back, look out, 114, that is Kelly Bagant, the driver out of the UK Ireland Series, and unfortunately gets a taste of the American style racing. Same for Argentinians, Marcos Palacio. The 83, unfortunately, was kind of quite a few wins here from Team Fish Motorsports here on the show with the Citadel Rallycross League. And oh, by the way, we'll be getting them back on the show here soon enough. But again, with him here in that racing background, he had a lot of experience, a lot of time to really master his craft to get things dialed up more for this kind of racing he had to do. Of course, a lot of these guys just having a good time with it, having fun as you should with these iRacing calls and these iRacing races. But sometimes you gotta be a little bit more serious and get a little bit more tricky and technical out here. But for this kind of stuff, it's all about just how it hangs on and how it holds up. And to see how big of a crowd we've got on hand, it's pretty darn impressive to say the least. Robert Case swings it down on the right side there, running right fast into the mix there, swaps it off of McKenna Deanne. White flag is out, by the way. Benjamin Forster, I completely forgot all about him in that 23. It's just completely rocking and rolling this one. Andrew Hale through the Hail Mary and moves the Red Bull number 4 into the second place spot, but it's Forster who has the lead. With just a subset of corners left to go. Heat number 2 is about to come to an end, is about to come to a close. Some names you've seen before and some names you probably wouldn't recognize out of the gate, but there's one thing's for sure. By the time we're done with all this, I guarantee you'll probably remember a good chunk of these names. Off the final corner here, Benjamin Forster. First time on the show, first win and first heat. The 23 takes heat number 2. Ty McIntosh here going to swing it right into the Joker on the last lap, trying to get around Jin Wang. Not enough time. He'll fall back. Too little, too late. Last chance qualifier is now coming up here on your show here, race fans. Talk about absolutely taking this one to the wire, though, and giving everything you got, and then putting your body on the line, putting your car on the line if it means pushing yourself to those limits. That is what it's all about here. Last chance qualifier coming your way here. Let's take a look at heat number 2 results real quick. Then Forster, Hale, Case, Deanne, and Wang are your top 5 out of this one. Here are the starting lineup here for this one here. This is going to be your driver's set. Marwan Moftah, Ty McIntosh, Matt A. Kingsbury, Austin Hable, Steve Clegg, Marcos Palacio, Caleb Forsythe, John Snellable, David Deanne, Callie Bagant, George Young, Taylor Parsons, Francois Martel, and Brad Thacker are going to be in this last chance qualifier. And with that, it's said it's their last chance to try to make it in. Off the start, they look for the lights, they look for the green. They fire them down, and we're firing them off. Here we go. Last chance qualifier here. They're only going to get 7 laps to get this one in. Into the first sector, or the first corner. 3 wide, saluting right out of the gate there. Number 3, and Marwan Moftah holds on. Trouble there for the 42 as Austin Hable goes spinning it sideways. David Deanne follows behind. Off the jump, they come through the corners now, slamming the gas and each other. Forsythe taking it for a huge hit. Right off the jump and into the turn. That might have been Taylor Parsons that got a good chunk of him there, but there really wasn't much he could do. Once you come off that jump, you pretty much got no control of where your car goes or no control over what happens next. All you can do is just hope and pray. And that's one of those cases there, my word. 12, 2, 3, 4 drivers spun out there in the corner there. Francois Martel, one of them, unfortunately. And again, Francois, literally the highest I rating and the highest safety rating of our drivers, and yet he is struggling to get this thing to dial in when he needs to. And this just shows you, again, what I've been talking about, how difficult a Legend 34 dirt car is when you're trying to run it on these rallycross tracks. It tests your patience as much as it tests you. Uh-oh, one car upside down. We got one flipped upside down. I think that might be Forsyth. It is. 76 back upside down on his roof. And Forsyth just cannot catch a break, unfortunately, today, to say the least. Problems all day long. Problems just trying to keep up with the speeds, trying to keep up with the drivers, and finds himself in this tough little ordeal. Matt A. Kingsbury right now is your race leader here, moving up the chains and moving through the field. Whoa! And more trouble yet again for Callie Bagan. Callie Bagan once again spinning it into the grassy plains. I think he's trying to open his own lawn care service down there. Well, Callie, I can tell you that the service over there has been kind of done and over with. It's good to go. Steve Clegg getting a little tag there as he gets a little pump there from the back. Francois Martel not going to play the nice rallycross driving anymore. This is where he's going to try to get down dirty. This American style racing. Knows he can't let his Canada background surpass him. He's got to bring it home and bring some speed in to bring home for the Maple Leaf and the Canadian bacon that comes with it. The Monster Energy Rehab number 15 here. John Snebel right now on the onboard camera here, doing a great shot, just showing you guys how close these guys are to one another and how much speed they're carrying through these turns and through these corners. With 4 laps to go, though, Matt A. Kingsbury in the 21, driving like a bat out of hell right now, just holding this thing down on the corners and down on the track. Taylor Parsons, the 31, continuously trying to hang in there and trying to keep up with the speeds. As we got a little fender bending and fender drivers put together, the 10 of Ty McIntosh, and that was the 15 John Snebel getting a little bit into it. Palacio, more troubles down there. Well, unfortunately, he's not doing too well here, and I don't think he will be advancing into our A main, but we'll certainly see him next week here on Peace Race TV, next Sunday, because the Citadel Rallycross League is back, and they're back with a fiery vengeance, a whole nother series of races on the Rallycross end, and we can't wait to show it to you live here on Pizza Race TV. So stay tuned for that when we come live on the show. Steve Clay going to this race here, he told me one thing was for sure, and all he wanted to do was point blank, I just want to try and get a chance into that A main. I never made the A main here at Daytona last time. I'm going to try and change that. Well, he's currently in 6th. I don't know if that'll be enough to get him into the A main. I think they'll only take top 3 or top 4 out of the bunch. I think maybe he might be able to get it in, because if we have 24 drivers, we only took 10 in with us from the heats into the A. So I would say it's going to be a close one. I think he may be able to make it, but I think it's top 4 that goes into that final A main, or top 3 that is. I'll have to get back to you guys on that one here, but right now 2 laps to go. Marwan Moftah right now looking pretty comfortable and pretty solid here. Knows he can easily take this one home as long as he just puts it into this top spot. 21 of Kingsbury right now, though, is your race leader, and as he burrows it down through the final slidey S corners here, driving it sharp and controlled off the edge into the banking. We have but just 1 lap to go. White flag high in the air. Matt A. Kingsbury is your race leader, and he is now sending it to the whites. Rest of your field right now just trying to get any last minute speeds, any last minute efforts put under their name and under their control so they can just show you something here on Pizza Race TV. David Deanne in the 5 right now, looking like maybe this car may not have as much speed left in him as he was hoping for. Marcos Palacio trying to just get one last little click in, one last little lick of speed, and he continues to show his talents. The Argentinian driver definitely will not be missed out. He will not be missing for long, I should say. He will be here soon enough and back on the track before you know it. But nevertheless, here off the final corners here, some drivers are going to have to call it a day and pack it for home. Last chance qualifier belongs to Matt A. Kingsbury. Marwan Moftah here taking the Joker on the last lap here. Interesting strategy as the 3 will bring it around. Taylor Parsons goes 3rd, and I believe then Francois Martel will go into the 4th slot. Whether or not that's enough to get him into the final A main remains to be unknown. But a victory there for Matt A. Kingsbury. That will certainly help out the confidence level a bit. That will help out his strategy a bit more too. Knows he still has a chance. And remember, you do get points here if you can win in the last chance qualifier. So sometimes you don't even need to finish well in the heats. You just need to place a little bit. And speaking of placing a little bit, it looked like that 5 was actually trying to place it up on the front of that hood like a monster truck would for a stoppie. Pretty impressive, I'll give him that. Alright, here's the finishing results. Matt A. Kingsbury goes first. 2nd goes to Marwan Mota. 3rd goes Taylor Parsons. 4th to Francois Martel. 5th to Ty McIntosh. 6th to Steve Clegg. 7th to John Snebel. 8th to George Young. 9th to Marcos Palacio. And 10th goes to Callie Bagan. That will round out the top 10. And with that, it's time for your warm-up. The A main warm-up is now underway here for these drivers. And with only about a minute left here, I mean, we're going to talk about this over and over again, but I really feel like those that raced last season have the biggest advantage over anything you could have learned from normal rallycross racing and normal, in general, just enduro-style racing. Now, you're probably wondering at home, what am I talking about exactly? Well, you got to remember again, what we saw in the first heat, we saw troubles from some of the top guys of the bunch and from the top hot dogs of this bunch, and they struggled. I mean, they absolutely struggled out of the gate trying to keep these things online, trying to keep them from not bouncing around too much off that jump, and also dealing with the added pressure that drivers were throwing at them in general here. So, what it all boils down to, the way I see it, is it's going to be a hard-hitting kind of affair with a few kind of close calls and close encounters of any kind here. Only the best drivers, though, will succeed, and only the best drivers will come out on top. We've seen many drivers like Drin Jin Wang here in the double O, Andrew Hale, the Hail Mary King himself, James Watson, Christopher Hill. They've all tasted victory lane in the A main. They've all took one and parked it down in victory lane before. Now they need to do it again. And it looks like they will only take top 2 out of the bunch. So Matt A. Kingsbury and Marwan Mota is going to go into the A main. Race fans, that means 12 drivers will go 12 laps around the track. Here it is, your final lineup for the night's A main. James Watson, the 39. Benjamin Forster in the 23. Daniel R. Hall, the 19. Andrew Hale, the 4. Christopher Hale, the 101. Robert Case, the 14. Matthew Johnson, the 44. Matt Kennedy in the 62. Lucas Santos in the 6. Drin Jin Wang in the 00, and Matt A. Kingsbury in the 21 with Marwan Mota rounding it out in the 3 car. Race fans, if you're ready for the action, if you're ready to kick it up a notch here on Beats Race TV, we're ready to do it with you. Off the start, we have featured your drivers. The lineup is set, and it's time to go racing. Into the first sector we go. Nobody enters the joke early. Into the corners, we are 3 wide. Sluden and James Watson on the start. Lost it in the turn. That gives Forster and Hall plenty of room to make at it here. Forster with the advantage. Hall trying to get back up to him. Forster trying to swing the car around, trying to rear that rear end out so he can drift around the dirt and get the short wheelbase to actually eat some dirt and build up speed while he's at it. Hall and Hale right now in a great deal of battles here. The 19 versus the number 4 here. Both drivers side by side for positions. Robert Case, Matthew Johnson down there. Troubles, unfortunately, into the sector from the dirt to the asphalt. On the onboard camera, Christopher Hill on the 101 trying to hang on as Hall and Hale continue to do battle amongst each other. Watching out from a distance and looking for some openings around the track here. James Watson currently firing off anything he can to get back in this. Drin Jin Wang, literally, we were just trying to see where he was going. The big 00 sends it to the Joker. And the Joker gives him all he needed and then some, taking this one away. Coming right around now, everybody now dealing into that tight 190-degree end turn, if you will, trying to hold on the line, trying to hold on for mercy if you can. McKenna Dean at 62 dealing with a lot of company to his inside and his outside. The right and left definitely being put to good use. Jin Wang after that little sneak attack on the on the right side there of the Joker, taking full control, full aim, looking to try to hold it down. Andrew Hale looking to try to get up some speed at Benjamin Forster. Forster, though, even without the Joker lap, has absolutely mastered his corner. The fastest time set by him now was a 46.79, but James Watson actually laying down a 46.75 as his fastest. And it doesn't matter what speed you get now. That was then. You slam it on the wall. You're not getting much more than that later on. And Watson literally cost himself big time. But wait a minute. What happened to Daniel R. Hall? What happened to Daniel Hall here? He's lost it into the turn and sent it packing up on the top side there. Wait just a minute, race fans. We got to go visit the instant replay. We got to take a look at this one, see what happened exactly to the number 19. It looks like he got a taste of the Shadow Realm, unfortunately. Came into that corner, and Christopher Hill, that smooth studded track ground racing that he runs on the ovals, did not quite show here. And this is a big mistake by Daniel R. Hall. Goes over the turtle. And the turtle actually gets the 19 stuck in place and stuck on the top of that. Could not get it out. What a tough break for him and that crew. They came out here running so hard, so well here in the A main, now having to literally try to back everything bend to a corner, trying to figure out where to go from there. The number 44, Matthew Johnson, now moving it on the left side, dealing with Watson on his right. Watson trying to recover from the two big mistakes he made earlier, spinning it out on the first turn in the lead and literally getting himself troubled in from the jump. He's trying to hang on though. Remember, he has not used his Joker lap either. Oh, he's certainly not making friends either. Johnson getting clipped up a little bit. And wait a minute. A little trouble down there. Benjamin Forster. Forster, your race leader. Lost it in the corner. Straight before the asphalt sector. What has happened to Forster? We got to go to the replay. Here's a look at it. This is what I was talking about earlier. This car, you might as well call it the next gen of rallycross racing. It's such an enigma, and it can be such a tricky little handful. This right here was a mistake and an error on his part. Spun it too hard in the corner, and even the best drivers will make mistakes. But this right there was exactly what, in my opinion, that really kind of showcases you don't get comfortable and you don't let your guard down too soon, because that can happen to you. The double O Jin Wang now has got the race lead back in his grasp. 7 laps to go. We'll turn 6 in a minute. Andrew Hale, though, looking to get the Hail Mary attempts thrown at him. Both drivers have gone to the Joker already. Matt A. Kingsbury as well has used his Joker. The Joker, a shortcut in its own right here on the American side, but on the European side as well as all around Asia and Asia as well as Europe, it is more of a, shall we say, hazard. It basically forces you to do something you really don't want to do, but you have to take it anyway. There's that shortcut here in America style rallycross racing can make all the difference. It can change everything out completely on how you race this race out. Field is currently matching their corners, mashing the gas pedal, hitting everything you can see right there as well. That was the mistake Benjamin Forster made earlier. He was trying to drive it way too hard into that white plains there. That is the dried up part of the track, a little slick down there. And that's what makes it so difficult with these short wheelbases, because once they slick up, you might as well just say this thing's going to go flying around on you. There's no way of saving it. Longer wheelbases are a lot easier to save, a lot easier to kind of configure around because they can take more of a beating, but this is not the case here.
Chris.
Oh my, what on earth is this guy doing in my booth again?
Thacker unfortunately couldn't make it, so he wanted me to send you a message and let you know that these cars are hard to drive due to the wheelbases, along with the issue with the curbs. He just wanted me to pass that along to you.
Well, I mean, I think fans and I have also been talking about that a little bit too there, Foresight. I mean, it seems like it's more of a troublesome issue for you guys to have to work around. You had some problems around there too earlier, didn't you?
Yeah. When you roll about 7 times.
Oh! Well, speaking about rolling 7 times, Matty Kingsbury and Hale nearly rolling themselves out of the contention. Kingsbury getting a piece there of Hale and ended up holding it down, but Hale able to throw the Hail Mary to get back at it as Christopher Hill finally uses his Joker going into second. Sorry, Foresight, but I'll let you continue real quick.
I have no idea what I was saying.
Long wheel, not long wheelbase, short wheelbase, dirt. It's hard to drive. These things are a pain in the butt.
Oh yeah, they are. But God, they're a blast. Man, there's some good racing going on here. If the leaders will quit killing themselves,
No, I mean that
it'd be really
we
cool.
said it. We said earlier these things are like the next gen of the rallycross racing because they're such an enigma. You just can't figure them out completely, and if you try to take them too hard, they'll backfire on you, and that's kind of the beauty of it. Andrew Hale right now, he's a bit of a hard shot right here with Christopher Hill. He didn't appreciate the little tag earlier, and I don't think Kingsbury did either earlier. So right now these free drivers and a hot debate for second. Hale right out, and the Hail Mary is thrown, but that's not the way he wanted it thrown. Ends up into Matt A. Kingsbury in 21 off the jump and ends up sending himself back into the Shadow Realm. Hangs on though, he'll keep his speed up. There comes Forster now taking full control. These two making mistakes. Oh, we got one spun right in front of him though. McKenna DeAnne spinning it right in front of the number 23 and Hale able to get away from him. Foresight, I swear, you guys, I don't know how the heck you can handle enough beers to even try to hold these things online, much less even drink enough moonshine to keep yourselves under control.
Oh well, we don't. The OG people. That's why we're all sitting here watching them race. I believe Kingsbury may have a black flag though. He may get a cut in the course there.
If he did cut the course, he has a limited amount of time here to where he actually has to back down the throttle and give up that time he had gained. That is the rule of thumb in rallycross racing and in road course racing for anyone that is aware of this. But right now it looks like he is A-okay. I think he may have given that time up because he has slowed down tremendously here to Christopher Hill. As right now your race leader in the double O, Drin Jin Wang. One more time by into the corner here. We are now going to give it the white flag. This time by Drin, looking to get his first win with the Moonshiners in Season 2. Talk about everything just getting flipped upside down. You saw, I said earlier, you got to watch the veterans get at it. And those that had raced this before, the OGs would have the most experience, but those that had a lot of rallycross and true experience on other forms may be a bit of a disadvantage because they had to throw everything else away as Marwin Mota almost taken Drin Jin Wang's race away from him, but it's not to be though. The double O, if he can make this final corner with dealing Christopher Hill right behind him, will send it off into the final turn here, getting the first win of the season, and Drin Jin Wang holds on. The double O parks this one in victory lane here at Daytona International Speedway. Benjamin Forrester struggling yet again. The 23 spins it off the turn, gives up quite a few laps and positions here to the drivers. That will end out his day, unfortunately, and not the same place he was hoping for. Andrew Hale, probably not too thrilled with himself about this one, but that is something in racing you just can't avoid sometime. But the man out of Hawaii here, Drin Jin Wang, will bring the double O into victory lane, and what a performance by this cat and this man, really bringing in all the speed and all the requirements you need just to hold on with these kind of cars and hold on to this speed, and he was able to hold up for just enough. Well, Forsyth kind of ran off into the background here. He's ran off somewhere else here, probably for the best of all of us here, as well as myself included. So I think he's been kind of getting some word from Thacker on how to talk to me here. But anyway, here is your feature results, race fans. Drin Jin Wang takes this one home. The Hawaiian native will bring this one to victory lane for the first race of the season. Christopher Hill, though. Give the man his due. Give the man his credit. He pulls off a great battle there. Matt A. Kingsbury will bring it in third. Fourth to Andrew Hale. Fifth to McKenna Deanne. Sixth to Robert Case. Seventh to Benjamin Forster. Eighth to Santos. And we're going to go ninth to Johnson. And Watson will go 10th to round out the top 10. Well, there is only but one thing left to do, and I think you fans kind of know by now what I have left to finish up with. It's time to talk to your finishers today. In the third place finisher today, he will come to us in the big old number 21. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt A. Kingsbury brings us one in the third round here today. And Matt, congratulations on a third place finish. And it looked like it could have been possibly higher if not for a few Hail Marys thrown at you and a few penalties thrown at you for cutting the course there as well.
Yeah, we picked up a penalty from cutting the course, which didn't really hurt us too bad. We were battling pretty hard with Andrew, and he put up a good fight. I think we were faster than him, and just I didn't want to do anything too risky. And we had to start in the back because of I don't know, really bad mistake I must have made on the pavement section in the heat race where I spun out from the lead. So just happy to drive basically through the field to get third, and overall a really fun race.
Overall, really fun race and quite the perspective here. You had a little bit of kind of a thing to go around with. You had literally been one of the new drivers to pop up on our show, and to come out here and absolutely put on a performance like this, I got a feeling it's probably going to set you up pretty well for the next race of the season and throughout, isn't it?
Yeah, it was something that interested me. I normally run Rallycross over at North American Simulated Autosport, and that's a pretty competitive RX league. And I think James had posted this over there, and I was like, oh, let me check it out. I didn't realize it was these cars, but I was like, oh, let me try it. So I tried it out, and it was a blast. I was having fun with it, so I was like, oh, I'll race it. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, we certainly do look forward to having you more on the track and more on the show, and maybe even talk with us here at the podium. So, congratulations on this third place finish today, and what a performance it was. So, who do you want to thank for it all?
Just thank you to these guys. It's everyone was really clean, which I thought was awesome because I was expecting it to be an absolute mess. Just because of the nature of these cars really aren't made for this track, and RX is normally pretty chaotic. But everyone raced really respectfully. The guys that I ran side by side with gave me room, and really appreciate all that.
Certainly indeed. Well, what a performance by you, Matt. Congratulations on this third place finish, and we can't wait to see more of you on the track here, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt A. Kingsbury in the number 21 will park this one up into a solid third place finish today. Coming away, though, in the elusive second place spot today here, though, of course, will be the man in the 101. Christopher Hill joins us now here on the show. And Christopher, last season you came away with the final race win. In this season you start in the second place spot, and that's definitely got to boost the confidence up a little bit to get once again come away first and second in your two showcases so far.
Yeah, not too bad of a first result for the season, and hoping I can build on that for the rest of the season or as many races as I can make. Super fun driving these little cars in the rallycross form, and very, very challenging, but super, I'm super happy with that, especially looking after qualifying. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be a podium contender with those guys being like half a second plus faster, but once it all shook out, it kind of all worked out. So that's a good thing,
Now, with the way things worked out as well, we talk about it constantly and how much it is harder to actually drive these things on a track like this because the fact you got that short wheelbase, you got these wheels really just kind of kicking you around. I mean, with the emphasis I thought honestly I made was this is kind of like the next gen of rallycross racing. With your experience with that, I mean, what do you think on that as well?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's an incredibly tricky car to drive. Their suspension travel is so short, and it's like anytime you go over a bump, it's like it is not happy. It's not in the place where it wants to be. So trying to somehow keep the car balanced and stable and not get caught out is definitely sometimes even a little bit more important than outright pace through a section. So I think that's one of my strengths in some ways is just keeping the car stable and not really getting into too much trouble. But Yeah, it's a tricky one, but it's super fun. I mean, I'm definitely going to try to make everything I can because it's just a great little fun short night and great intense racing and a good group of guys and all that. So keep
It,
coming back as much as I can.
certainly indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, Hill, you are going to come away today with a second place finish, and you know how this works. So, do you want to thank for all this?
We'll make a shout out to Team Watson Racing. I've kind of been recently running with them a bit more, and so definitely want to make an acknowledgement to them because they've definitely helping me out in some of the other leagues and cars that I run a bunch. And a great group of guys and a good team to run with. Always going to mention Precision Racing Instruction. That's my company that I do coaching with people. I do it both online and in real life. If anybody wants to get some coaching, you can reach out either through Facebook or Instagram, or if you're on the Discord with me, feel free to reach out. And happy to get you tuned up and going quicker and all that kind of stuff. So thanks for putting on the broadcast, and looking forward to the next round. So
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, Christopher, as you come away second, we appreciate you coming back on board, and we certainly cannot wait to see more of you here on the show as well. Congratulations again.
thank you much. Have a good one.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, the 101, Christopher Hill. And popping away with a win today here from the man that brings home the speed and the prize fun for the first race of the season. Jin Wang pops up with the first place here. And Drin, what a performance here, my friend, and what a battle for you and this crew. You found the right time. You shot your shot with the Joker, and Forster makes a mistake, and you use that strat and use that basic line of knowledge that you've learned from last season into this against him.
Yeah, for sure. So just happy to bring home another win, and I think experience counted for tonight. We got a couple of incredibly fast folks, and this car will bite you if you don't kind of predict it beforehand.
It certainly will indeed, and I think we kind of mentioned it, of course, a lot over the course of this race here, was if you didn't have experience from just this car and this way this racing is, honestly, that experience would kind of backfire on you when you actually know how to run in Roma Rallycross League. But, I mean, it seemed like, though, even with that, you still knew how to do kind of a mixture of both, and it all worked out perfectly for you today, didn't it?
Yeah, I have a two-wheel drive rallying background, so I think it helps me in general. I think you saw with season one, I found my way around tracks pretty quickly. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be a fun season to battle with the more traditional rallycross folks. There is a lot of them that flooded in season two, and I got real nervous when I saw that I was sixth in qualifying. There's some incredibly fast guys on dirt on here.
There certainly is indeed, but in this case and all above all else, you have triumphed where no one else could get you. So as you walk away with the very first race of the season and a big victory for you and your crew, who do you want to thank you for this?
Love to thank James Watson, the whole TWR crew. They're just great group of guys to run with. Like to thank my teammate for keeping me honest and racing me well with Chris Hill. And Benjamin, it's going to be tough. If he didn't spin, I'm not sure I would have had much for him. And then big thanks to Francois for coming out here and helping run with the team and stuff. So yeah, apologies for anybody that I've missed. But yeah, and like to shout out to Co-Driver's Pad. That is my current sponsor. It is a rally. It's a co-driving rallying software that I developed. So if you like rallying and you want to have a friend be a co-driver and read your pace notes, come check out Co-Driver's Pad.
I think you've got quite a few people who are going to probably come check that out for what you did today here at Daytona International Speedway. Dren, congratulations on this race win here, sir. The first one of the bunch, and a big victory for you and this crew.
All right, thanks very much, Christian.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, then the big double O, Jin Wang will pop away with the win. And that concludes your first race of the season for Moonshiners Rallycross League. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning on in. We certainly hope you've enjoyed it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night as Pushing Limits Racing League returns with some action on the track. But for now, be safe. God bless. Thank you. Take care. Have a good night, everyone.